Oh snap, so Muggy Maniac is just rocking the 80s today, people. Another one of my favorite all-time metal 80s bands. Still rocking. Even though KK Downing, original lead guitarist, left the band, retired. And the other one, Glenn Tipton, which is the other lead guitarist, has Parkinson's, so that sucks. You can't play. I mean, they're still touring, but I mean, going to see Judas Priest. I mean, Rob Halford, the lead singer, great singer, great vocals. Even if the guy is gay, that's his that's his thing. I don't care. It doesn't change my view of them being one of the all-time greats, regardless of his his preference. But anyway, I mean, it's just not the same without those two guitarists, man. So I had an opportunity. I was going to go see Priest in concert, and I was like, Glenn Tipton's not playing? KK Downing's already gone. The two of the baddest axe dual guitarists ever in metal. Besides, the other band that I was playing, Iron Maiden, Dave Murray, and Adrian Smith. Those two bands had two of the greatest dual guitarists ever, period. End of discussion. So anyway, just rocking out to that. But I had a few people, this is like, man, I'm just beating you guys up with some videos today. So anyway, that means that, when I Muggy Maniac loads you up with videos, guess what? That means that there's not going to be no videos probably till the weekend when I run. Hopefully the weather gets better. Sun did pop out for a second today, but I mean, it's already getting dark now. So anyway, it's still cold. So anyway, I'm checking out stats over here because there's two types of people, in what we do. And by the way, over here this is the newbie starter kit. I'm gonna tell you guys, or show, or explain, whatever you want to call it, help out the new people, and maybe anybody, not just new people. A lot of guys that have been doing 8-scale nitro for a minute don't have some of this shit. And these are things that are very vital if you want to take the equation out of a lot of the headaches that you're going to run into. This will help you with that. And they're not expensive, because you guys know the Muggy Maniac. I mean, sure, I like $200, $300 Italian motors. I like top-of-the-line platforms. By the way, what the hell is that? Is that what I think it is? That's not a Muggy, is it? I mean, kind of looks like a Muggy. It's definitely not a truck. And it's definitely not a monster truck. Okay? So, it can only be one thing. It's not a monster truck. It's not a Truggy. What the hell is that? Well, I get a lot of people that always tell me, hey man, your XTM, that's no Muggy. Well, this is what it looked like when it came, as far as externally, when I got it. If that don't look like a Muggy, then I don't know what is. I mean, they called it sure a stadium truck back then, because they didn't really have Truggies too much. They were just kind of coming in. 2005 was when this came out. Company, by the way, Hobby People, used to be around, was a huge hobby company, kind of like a Horizon. Not quite as big, but similar. And this was their line. XTM was their line. And by the way, they had a lot of XTM. There's probably about 15 or more different XTMs. Buggies, monster truck. They had crawlers. Everything. So, a lot of people that make comments are like, hey, dude, that's no Muggy. Or what are you talking about? Well, this is what a Muggy is. For those of you, again, let me enlighten you, or let me educate you, because I think some people are confused. What a Muggy is, it's a hybrid. Okay, it's not a monster truck, obviously, and a monster truck has huge tires and normally 8 shocks. Okay, the LSTs, those aren't even monster trucks. Those are a hybrid also. Okay, the problem with those is you can't fucking bump start them. That's why the only thing in that line for Losi of their hybrids was the Muggy. Because the Muggy, you could bump start. way superior. But Muggies are more rare, more sought after than any LSTs. Period. End of story. So if you're, and not the in LSTs again, I'm not bad mouthing LSTs. They're great platforms. They're just, they don't have the status and the nostalgic weight, so to speak, as the Muggy. Okay, Muggies are very hard to find, and a lot of people, like you've seen, will bastardize them and butcherize them and hybrid them, and I mean not hybrid, I'm sorry, but will turn them into E-words and crazy shit instead of just leaving the damn thing stock. Somebody out there has a Muggy in a box, never been opened, brand new. Matter of fact, I think Mr. Zaz said he had, I don't know if it was a Muggy or he had something that he has brand new sealed in a box he keeps in his attic. Like, that's how much the guy's sick in the head. I'm kind of like that too, but you know, not to that extreme. I've got this thing that you see a lot of them out there. There's a lot of these XTMs, by the way. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but I've seen them out there. But none of them in the shape that mine's in. I was fortunate and got this thing brand new. The guy that got it, he pulled it out of the box. I think he ran it like maybe a couple times. I mean, the pins, before I wore them out a little bit, the tires, these, I mean, there's still a lot on here, but these things were brand new when I got them. There was still the little pieces of rubber. The motor, the 24.7 Pulsar piece of shit that eventually blew up, that came in here, wasn't even barely broken in. You know, and that was my first. That's why I kept it. So this is what it looked like originally. Now, to me now, all the work that I've done to it, this thing's a freaking chuggy on steroids. I mean, this thing is a beast, you know. Bigger shocks. These are like 18 millimeter shocks. You know, aluminum servo saver, aluminum top plate. That right there that you're looking at, that looks like a turnbuckle, that's the original, last of the original chassis stiffeners. There was another one that went down with that blue one is that you guys are looking at, which, by the way, that one's an associate. This one here is an Associated. Okay, but I mean, this is the acronym and all. This is all aluminum. I mean, my freaking modernized badass Mugen and my Techno and my Mugen. None of other my whips even have an aluminum freaking servo saver. Titanium. All titanium turnbuckles, you know. Obviously, you know, I got the close to $200 that I spent on this center diff, all aluminum, 70-75. Dual rear chassis braces, I'm sorry, braces, not brakes, braces, aluminum, you know. I mean, I spared no expense on getting every upgrade that I could for this thing. The only thing that I didn't get, I mean, I put the carbon fiber wrap, but they actually make a carbon, this is aluminum, but they make a carbon fiber tray, radio tray. This shit's $100. You know, they make aluminum. I have aluminum hub carriers in the front, but I don't have them in the back, and they make them for the rear. You can't see them because of these big tires, but I don't run these tires just because they're rare. They're too big, they're too heavy, they're too bulky. That's why I run these, my Chinaman tires. By the way, these, before, you know, I put the DE racing rims on these Chinaman tires. Here's what they look like. When you get them, you can get a full set. By the way, if you guys want a good, durable, closest you're going to get to Badlands, because the Badlands are no more. They're not making them no more. There's some out there, but they're going to be gone. So you guys find as many as you can, get as many as you can. I got a couple more pairs that I found that I'm getting. You know, as long as I got, you know, 4 or 5 pairs of them. I mean, I want to get more, but they just don't make them no more. So eventually, people are going to have to run. You're going to have to run something else. They're not going to last forever. These are grid. I like the tread pattern. They're real rubber. They'll start ballooning too as the rubber gets worn in. It gets more worn. But as long as you put better inserts than the shit that comes with it, good foam inserts. I even have these Gorilla taped on the inside. I just haven't glued them officially. I'm gonna glue them as soon as I'm done filming this video. I don't know. I might run these. And these rims, these aren't like fucking Proline, the Desperado bullshits that come on the Proline when you buy the Badlands that have the rims. These are pretty light. I'm very surprised, and they're very durable. This is like my second set of these. I have another set of these. But you get all 4 of these rims and tires, less than $40, man. All day long. You know, sure they're China tires, but I weigh these. These rims and tires just like this, compared to the DEs with this, they're not much heavier. I think it's like, what, 10 grams, 20 grams, maybe heavier, you know? They're not really heavy, which I was very surprised. So, anyway, if you want some decent tires, they come pre-glued. Only reason I'm gluing them is because I changed the foam inserts and put better inserts in them. And duct taped, Gorilla taped the inside of the tire, which hopefully that'll help a little bit. So anyway, that's what the Muggy looks like. So I mean, look, there's a Truggy. Okay. That's a Truggy. Truggy. Muggy. Well, we'll just call this monster truck, Truggy on steroids. Because that's what it is. It's a Truggy on steroids, people. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about bashing and versus racing. Okay, now some people are race inspired, some people aren't. And Mr. Zaw always talks about it. The new LRP .32 Spec 4, when it came out, it was supposed to be race inspired, blah blah blah. That's what LRP said. You know, the carburetor's still a piece of shit, and they had all these issues with the port. So I don't know how race inspired that is. But I'm looking at the standings after a sober state, and you're either one of two things. Like I said, you're either a basher. You know, and what is a basher? I looked it up. You know what a basher is? It's somebody that tests the boundaries of your vehicles with no rules, no regulations, even goes to extreme jumping off, you know, crazy jumps. Don't worry about the landings. Crashing isn't something you frown on. It's something that you laugh about. But, you know, when I read the definition of it, and that's according to RC World or whatever, it was like, I'm not in any hurry to crash my $700, $1,000, $1,500 or rare platform and break it and shit. So I'm very, very, not delicate, but I'm careful with my shit. I don't just run my shit reckless. But anyway, that's what it says bashing is. And then obviously we know what racing is. Racing is racing. Rules, regulations. These guys got to weigh in. I think somebody, I forgot what race, got disqualified. I think it was Ryan Lutz or somebody. Or maybe Ty Tessman. The weight or something wasn't right on his car. I mean, they'll disqualify you for shit and pull your trophy, man. Or you know. So there's a lot of rules and regulations. One of the reasons I don't race is because you got to race to .21. But this is who's on top. This is the top in the world. Okay, this ain't local track guys. This ain't your enthusiasts. You know, these are guys that get paid big coin, okay, by huge multi-billion-dollar RC companies to run their shit. Mr. Mayfield, my brother from another mother, representing Team Mugen, okay, is back at top, okay. I think he's going to take it this year. He didn't like the fact that, you know, the youngster from Canada here, foreigner, Mr. Ty Tessman, nothing to take away from Ty. Ty's got a championship. He's got a world title already. He's a guy to reckon with, man. But Mayfield said, not on my watch. Not this year, man. You already spanked my ass last year, and he came in, I think, third? Yeah. World title went to David Ungaro. He's still up there. It's these top 3 guys are going to battle it out. I mean, Jared Tebow's right on his tail, too. And the thing, look at that's the American flag, people. We've got to represent it, man. Can't these foreigners come in here and, you know, look at all the American flags we got. From 14 all the way up. And who's at the bottom? Dakota Fenn. Team Losi. You know, but he's trying. He did finish second at the Nitro Dirt. But this is following the last race, which was the Silver State in Vegas, that most of you guys seen. Okay? Mayfield didn't do so good in Truggies because, you know, obviously Mr. Joe Bornhorst took it with Techno. But look, we got a lot of American flags coming up, man. Got to get these foreigners, you know, like, beat it, people. You know, RC's king, you know, here in the United States. And these are the guys that are in Nitro, spanking that ass. Ryan Mayfield, obviously Team Mugen. He's running Maximum. Now, the thing that I wanted to point out here is if you're race inspired, then you obviously would look at this. These guys are the ones that all the testing and all the companies look at what these guys are doing, and that affects us as bashers, believe it or not. FYI. Because they let the companies know this works, this does. I mean, these guys are screaming these little .21 badass little pea shooters, I call them, for 45 minutes, man. Ah, just screaming them. So they're gonna let you know if this motor's this motor can hang or not. Okay. So, but I mean, if you look at the motors, people ask me questions on .21s. Now, what does this have to do with bashing? It has a lot to do with bashing. I used to say, you know, in the past videos, I said it has nothing to do, because in a sense, there's a lot of things that pertain to racing that don't pertain to us as bashers. We're not worried about our setups. We're not worried about, you know, smooth power band and trackable power and all. We don't care about all that shit. We're just guys that bash, like I said, we're testing the limits of this shit here. But if this shit here can hold up for 45 minutes screaming, and these vehicles can take beating, well, guess what? A little bashing setup, which is heavy diff oils, heavy shock oils, you know, chassis braces, beefier or whatever, we're good. But just because you set something up for bashing, you're not going to be able to go race it and compete. You get your ass kicked. Try to take a bash setup vehicle and take it on the track and see what happens. You're going to be all over the place. It's just, and that's, you know, that's the difference. It's the setups. We don't worry about setups, so these guys do. Every little bit of weight, every little power, trackable, smooth out of the corner, you know, off brake you know, what do they call it? How does it handle when you let off the throttle, you know? How does it handle when you get on the throttle, you know? All that is racing. Am I race inspired? You better believe it, I am. I look at what these guys are doing. You know? If these guys are pushing these motors to the limits, then I want to know about them, as far as if I'm interested in a .21. But when it comes to bashing, I'm not even considering any of these motors, these .21s. I don't know anybody, including Mr. Za. I don't see him. Maybe a couple of his got friends, you know, run .21s. But most people that bash, that I know, you're not running .21s. What for? That ain't going to push the limit enough, unless they're modified. Again. I got a modified Reds, okay? This modified Reds that I love, by the way, modded by Rick. Rick hooked this thing up. I mean, this got the works. It already had tungsten brass slugs. That's how these cranks come from Reds. You know, he balanced out my crank, did crank work to it, he crank filled it. Sleeve work. I mean, this .21 will spank this Novarassi's ass bone stock. Guaranteed, and not even close. This modified Reds will spank that Nova stock ass. Modded? Hell no. This thing will crush this thing. Modified, though, spanks that ass. This thing, modified Reds, spanks that Pico P3's ass. This motor will, because it's modified, even though it's a .20, will spank even the LRP's ass. Well, I don't say it'll spank the LRP's ass, because it is a .32. But it'll get on that ass. Trust me. This LRP stock is not going to walk away from my Reds modified. Hell no. I've ran all these motors and I know. So don't get that twisted. .21s still don't have the displacement of a .28, but we're not talking, this is modified .21. If this was a stock, it didn't have a chance against any of these motors stock. Stock, all my motors stock, this motor would get its ass handed to it, and this motor would walk away from the reds. So would the Pico, and so would the LRP .32. All of these motors would stock. But this thing, because it's modded, would not walk away, but it would get in that ass of all my .28s and my .32. Stock, though. Okay, I'm talking stock. Don't get that twisted. So if you want a badass .21, modify that shit. Otherwise, I don't know why people ask me about .21s. They really don't do anything for me. And I don't know anybody that really bashes .21s. The only bashing I'm going to do with my .21 is because my shit's modded. I'm not going to bash a .21. I don't know. If your friends bash or people out there, you guys bash with .21s, then yeah, go for it. But I'll go bash with my friends, and they got .21s, alphas, and OSs, and my modded motors, and even my stock .28s and my .32s would get in that ass. A stock, I don't care how good of a stock motor is, it just the displacement is different. Sure, .21s like the Adam Drakes and the Speeds and all those, and even the XS FX .21s, they have RPMs and they scream. But for people to say that it's going to walk away from a Novorossi .28 Rex Legend, it's not even stock. It ain't happening. If you think I don't know what, you're smoking some bad shit, and you need to get off that shit. Because I had a guy ask me, what does he think about, an FX motor and an OS? Well, if it was racing, great. Ask Raja. I don't race anymore. I used to, so I know about racing. And I am race inspired. I do follow these guys in the standings, I mean, I want to know who's who. Ryan's spanking ass, man. I got a Mugen, but my shit's set up for bashing. I mean, if I was looking, brand new guy, and I was looking at buying a whip, I'm not going to base everything on what these guys are doing, but hell, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Those things are, these vehicles here, where they're at, they're race proven. These guys are proven that these vehicles can handle the shit that they put them through. 45-minute mains, people. Motor screaming. Most of the motors that are doing well right now, here you go. Maximum, which is what Ryan's running. Those are made by OS. #1 in the world. Ty Tessman's always ran the OS. #1. Here you go. David Ungaro. He's running that LRP. By the way, he run a champion. He won the world title last year with an LRP. I don't hear anybody on the tube talking about LRP .21s. Everybody's talking about OS. Do you guys not know that the LRP .21 spanked OS's ass? Ty Tessman, and Ryan Mayfield's red that he ran last year. This LRP .32, the whatever one David Ungaro's running, is spanking everybody's ass. Most of everybody else. It's the only LRP up there. So if I was race inspired as far as the .21 goes, I'd be looking at an LRP .21, and you know what? Matter of fact, I should probably look into one because I know the LRP .21s aren't shit like the .32 Spec 4s. The new LRP .21s are being made by OS. So OS is running the market right now. Pretty much, if you look at it, except for Orion. David Ronfalk, he's #5 in the world. He's running Orion, good motors. And then you got Reds. There's Reds. Elliott Boots, again, man, he's always been running Reds. And Ryan was too. Reds, you got Reds up there, and you got, some Maximum, which are OS again, and then you got Reds, and then you got Reds. So in the top 10, you've got 3 Reds, and all the rest are OS-based motors, except for the Orion. So there you go. So out of the top 10 motors being run on the race circuit by pros in the world, screaming 45-minute mains, pushing those .21s to the limit, out of all 10, top 10 in the world right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them less than half of them are non-OSs, which means OS is dominating. But when people talk about OS motors, I'd be looking at LRP. That motor's obviously working for him. He won a world with it last year, and he who knows, he might win again. Again, Reds are great motors too. That's why I like Reds. It's Italian. That's the only Italian motor in there, is the Reds. So in the top 10, we've got 3 Reds. So I would say if I'm a somebody that's race inspired, that's just into my .21s for whatever reason, for me personally, like I said, I got to get a monitor. They don't do shit for me. But if you're into their .21s, why don't you take a look at that? Here, there you go. There's a question. There's an answer to your question. I wouldn't even be. Where's FX? I don't see any FXs in here. Do you? That might work in the club circuit or whatever. I don't even see them in club circuits. Only one I know that's running them, and you know, I believe what he says. They're great motors, even though I don't run them and haven't ran them. What Raj just said. You know, but he's the only one that I know. I don't know anybody else. I mean, there's a couple other guys, but you know what I'm saying? These are pros. These are what the pros are running and getting paid to run, and these motors are being pushed, screaming their ass off, okay, for 45 minutes. Just screaming. I wouldn't be talking about no FX. I'm not saying it's not a good motor. I'm going to look at what's proven, what's fact. I just showed you facts. When I always talk about how racing doesn't have a lot to do with bashing, well, really, in a sense it doesn't, but at the same time it does, if that makes any sense. Depends what you're talking about. If you're talking about .21 motors and quality platforms, well then yes. You can't turn an RTR or something that's set up for bashing into a winning competitive race platform. It ain't gonna work. Trust me. But you can take that race platform, professional race platform, and you can take that shit and make it into a badass, top of the line, like just nasty ass basher. Because it's proven that it can handle anything, pretty much. You know? That's why I got a Tecno. That's why I got it. A Mugen. Who knows? I might get an X-Ray. You know, I mean, Ty Tessman keeps winning with him, even though he's the only one that's up there with X-Rays. There is no other X-Ray up there besides him. And I think what's holding Ty up there is just because Ty's just one hell of a driver, man. You can't take anything away from that kid. He's won a world, like I said. He's just a great driver, man. Because there is no other X-Ray even near him until it gets down to number 16. He's all by himself. Who knows? Ty might not stay with X-Ray. I heard he might leave next year. If he doesn't win a world this year, I guarantee you he's going to leave. I hope he goes to Mugen. That would be so sick. Can you imagine? Ty Tessman, Ryan Mayfield, Adam Drake, The Godfather, you know, mentoring those guys? Psh, forget it. Team Mugen's just, it's all over. And at the same thing, you know, Mugen's, you know, number 7 and number 1. I'd like to see, you know, Adam Drake up there. You know, Adam Drake's, you know, he's getting old. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from him, but he's not what he used to be. You know, still a great guy. He will always be, you know, in my eyes, you know, King, you know, Dale Earnhardt to Nitro. I mean, look, he's like, man, he's number 18 ranked right now. He's way back there. He would almost have to just start placing on up. He'd have to, every race here on out, he'd have to get at least, you know, half a dozen podiums to catch up with these guys. 84 points. I don't even know how the point system works. 84 points. 86 he's got. Mayfield's like way above. But see, Adam's helping out Mayfield. That's his. He's doing a lot of Mayfield setup for him, man. That's one of the reasons why Mayfield's up here. Mayfield's a hell of a driver, and Adam knows it, and Adam knows his shit. So he's like, let me help my teammate out here. You know, represent Mugen, number 1 vehicle in the world right now. X-Ray number 2, Associated number 3, and the only reason Associated's even up there is because they copied Mugen's shit. That's all. And then you got Tebow Techno representing. Yeah. Got my boy Tebow. You know, was with Kyosho. Now he's with Techno. I think he's gonna compete. I think Tebow's gonna get Techno up in there. And then you got Ron Fox got Hot Bodies representing. You know, Elliot Boots, S-Works. There's Robert Battle, Mugen. S-Works, Cavallari, which used to be for Associated. He's running S-Works. And then Cole Ogden, whoever that is, HB. So Hot Bodies. So there you go, man. If you're race inspired, there you go. That's what's winning. That's what's proven that it's winning. Motors and platform. Okay, so let me talk about this real quick, and then I'm out of here. This is it. I just wanted to, because I had a few guys ask questions about motors and stuff like that. You know, .21s, you can't compare them to .28s. I don't give a shit how 500. And I would never, like I said before many times, I'm never going to spend more than $300 on any damn .21. Never, end of story. When I can get a Novarossi 28.8 or an LRP .32 modded for that price. Motor and modded for $300. So why would I spend $400 on a fucking .21 or even $300? That doesn't make any sense. Now, if I was racing, that's different. If you're racing, go for it, man. Because you can't race the .28s and the .32s on any club racing or anywhere. So get the .21 and spend $500 or whatever. I seen a brand new Reds, another one. I might get another one of these R5, Reds R5 team editions like this. Brand new for $150. It's a $300 motor. And the only reason is because it's 2 years old. I mean, when they came out with them. This motor's just barely got 2 gallons through it, man. This thing's got, like, freaking... I mean, this thing's got freaking nasty pinch still. Look at that. Look at that. Can't even twist it. Look at that. Barely. Psh. This thing's got plenty of pinch, man. This thing ain't even warmed up yet, man. And this, like I said, again, this modified .21 Reds will spank any stock .28 or .32's ass. Period. So anyway, enough of that. So these are the things that you need. If you're a newbie or if you've been around, shame on you because you should already have this shit. It's not expensive, but these are very, very, very vital to you having any chance of being successful in 8-scale Nitro. Now the first one is this, and I still have the first one that I got. First thing I'm going to cover here. This is a Dynamite tool set. It's not the best quality, but for $20 you can't go wrong. I still use it. This thing here will eventually go out. It's kind of like a ratchet. Okay. Has like a ratchet thing on it, but it doesn't. It's, you know. But as far as the bits, they're not the best. I haven't stripped any. I mean, I like them because of the hex shafts on them. I use these in my cordless drill. I can lock them in because they're not round like most of these. They're hex. Next so $20, man. Great for any newbie. Good to take in the field. You know, it's not MIPs, but if you're starting out and you're new or you need a decent set, man, there you go. Dynamite makes them. Or not Dynamite, Duratrax. $20. Next is an IMAX. They have another one called, it's by Sky RC, makes the same thing. This is a little bit cheaper. It was like $30, I think. 80 watts. They have a bigger one that I'm going to get. You know, but it's a Light Pro balanced charger. And I keep it in here. This is my little case that I made for it. You know, plus buy one of these, $10. Capacity, controller, basically it's a digital battery checker. Check your battery. You know, I mean, it comes with all the plugs and everything. This is the box it came in. Less than $30. Okay? You need one of those, man. How the hell are you going to charge your batteries? Plug it into those bullshit things in the wall? Yeah, that's like no bueno. Here you go. Harbor Freight, Pittsburgh. Okay? Harbor Freight makes Pittsburgh, whatever. I think I paid $10 for this. Less than $20. Perfect, man. Look at that. This is the standard freaking micrometer. $10. Harbor Freight. Brand new. Comes with an extra battery. If you don't have one of these, I don't know what you're doing. Because if you're going to get any shit, and most of it's going to be on eBay, trust me, because you're a hobby shop, unless you got like a track day hobby around the corner, you ain't getting shit nitro. You're lucky if you get fuel. So when you buy shit, you're going to need to check the measurement. It's all going to be in millimeters. Otherwise, you're going to buy something on eBay, you're going to get it and like, oh, fuck, it doesn't fit. Oops. Big fucking headache. You know how many times I do that? Too many. Gotta have one of these. Micrometer. Bam. There you go. Next on the list. Here you go. Engine heater. Get a damn engine heater, people. Do you know why you need one of these things? Let me tell you why you need one of these things. You want your motor to last? You want your bump box to last? Well, then get one. That's why you need one. It's less stress on your crank. When you cold start your motor, your wear and tear, you're putting more wear and tear on your, it's not good for your crank, your con rod, it's not good for your piston, it's not good for your sleeve, it's not good for your motor, period. And it's definitely not good for your bump box. You're going to wear your bump box wheel out. Okay? That's why I heat my, I don't care if it's 100 degrees outside. I heat my motor all the time. I do not start my motor when I'm out brapping until it's at least minimum 150. Fires up a lot easier. I don't waste fuel. I don't have to burn a tank or two to get it warmed up to tune it. Fuck all that. My shit comes, I'm ready to fucking bench tune my shit on my bump box because it's already heated up. And then I drop it on the ground, make a couple adjustments. You guys see how I do it, and I'm good. The times that I struggle, when you guys have seen me struggle to get it tuned, is because I was too anxious to just fucking run it. And I couldn't wait to get it warmed up. Big mistake. Waste of fuel, waste of time. Like I said, get one of these. This is Sky RC, eBay, 24 bucks, 27 bucks. Now they make, I'm going to probably get, this is a good first one. They also make, ProTech makes one. A-Main carries it. It's like 60 bucks. Okay, so, I mean, you can get two of these or one of those. Sure, that one's better, probably better quality, but this works great. I mean, mine's falling apart now, but I've had this thing for like, I don't know how many years now. This is my, I still have it. All this shit I've had for a while. Okay, next on the list, okay, get yourself a damn temp gun. eBay again. 12 bucks, 10 bucks. I don't even think I paid 12 bucks maybe. Okay? You need one of these, man. Especially if you're going to break in your own motor. Check your temp. Okay? Next on the list is... Now, if you guys want to use LiPo batteries, go ahead. I'm not the LiPo battery guy. Ooh, what the hell was that? I heard an accident. Uh-oh, somebody got in an accident. I heard a crash outside. Happens out here. I live close to a main street. Anyway, these are Life batteries. Reedy makes this one. This one will fit in Mugens. These ones will fit in Technos. And will also fit in Losis. Okay. This is an 1800. They also make a 1600. I mean, these two come in... These are 1600s, which is plenty. 16 to 18 Life batteries, and they're safe. Life, I mean, save your life, man. If you want to use LiPos, go ahead. But if you guys are running these, newbies, rookies, or whatever, you guys are crazy, man. You're asking, this is why you will get runaways. Okay? These will fail on you. I've had these go out on me, and my shit ran away. Almost fucking destroyed my MBX5 buggy. When I used to run this shit. And these too. Switches? I don't use these either. Fuck these. You know? These go out too. I don't use them. I go straight from my battery right into my receiver, man. I don't use anything but direct right in there. I don't care what anybody says. People say, oh, well, you can do a little bypass and hook up. No, I'm not bypassing or nothing. 100% battery straight into the receiver, man. Zero chance of failing unless the battery just fails. Okay? So, you can get Life batteries. You can get these through A-Main, Reedy's. These are pretty good. They're plenty, man. Plenty to run your servos, man. 6.6, 2S. Plenty, man. Plenty. So, those are like less than 30 bucks. Okay? Next and last on the list, last but not least, get a damn heat gun. Man, you got to have a heat gun to break your motor in. These heat guns also work for when you're painting your bodies, if you want to paint bodies. I use that heat gun to heat up the inside of my body, put the paint on, heat it again over the body, boom, perfect. I use that to when I'm soldering shit and I got to shrink the little shrink wrap shit on your wires. I use that, you know. I use also a heat gun for taking my motor apart. All I got to do is heat up my motor and heat it up or whatever and put on some, you know, some like welding gloves or whatever. My motor comes apart a lot easier than trying to pull your motor apart cold. It's a pain in the ass. So anyway, those are the bare essentials. Those aren't expensive. A heat gun, I got this at the swap meet and it's a Milwaukee older one and it works great. I paid like $5 for that. I mean, there you go. 5, you got 10, 15, let's just say 25. So that's $40, 50. This here, your battery charger, let's say $30, $60, $70, $80, $100. $100 and you got everything. I mean, not everything, but you got the basic things that you're going to need in 8-scale nitro to make life easier. Less headaches, less frustration. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. You know, food for thought. Help some of the newbies out. You know, I know I've been talking and ranting and raving a lot in my videos, last couple videos, and I figured, hey, let me share some knowledge with you. Let me share, you know, and that stuff's not expensive, man. Now you can get all that shit a lot more expensive, but that's bare necessity right there, and that's decent. Not too cheap, but it's not real expensive. It's affordable. Okay, and that shit you will need an 8-scale nitro if you want your, you know, this to be a little bit easier for you. Less headaches. Alright, people. That's all I got. Muggy Maniac is out. And I'm going to glue these tires, and I got some other stuff to do, but I'll catch you guys on the rebound. Wait, one more look at that. Look at that. Old school. Look at that fat pig. Isn't she she looks like a fat pig. She's just a pig. I like my pig. I might run the tires on that. Nah, maybe not. With that LRP in there, it would destroy my diffs, and probably bend dog bones. Anyway, alright people. Peace.